Tyler's been in everything.
I know.
I've done a little bit of things here and there. I've been blessed to be able to keep my SAG insurance.
That's right.
This is What a Joke
With Tom Papa and Fortune Feimster.
on Netflix is a Joke Radio.
Oh my God, the show is so funny. I watched it with my wife, who is an elementary school teacher for 12 years, and she's constantly like, "Yep, that's true, that's true." So you guys nailed it.
Unfortunately, we get that a lot. Yeah. We get that
I
a
know,
lot.
right? It does shine a light on public school systems being in desperate need of money.
I mean, it's something that we all know and have always known. I think we just like to try to forget. Like, we like to try not to remember that sometimes we underfund the rearing of the next generation. Like, we want to believe that we're doing a good job with that.
Yeah.
But once we really see it, and especially on this show, we can kind of not necessarily make light of it, but talk about it in a way that's realistic. And real life is funny. This will at least affect how people talk to their teachers of their kids. You know what I mean? Just even if you could just give them a really good morning. How you doing?
Right.
You've been going through it. I bet you have.
Yeah.
You can do a lot.
Where did you grow up? Where did you go to school?
I grew up in New York. I was in Yonkers. I went to a Lutheran school until I ended up coming out here, and then I did TV school.
Was Everybody Hates Chris your first big role, or had you been doing stuff before that?
I mean, I had done a fair amount of work in New York, but that was, I guess, of the largeness that I guess we're capable of. Yes, that was the big one.
That show was so funny.
Yeah.
Thank
You were
you.
so good at it. How old were you when you got that role?
I was 12. I was
Whoa.
12. Yeah, I was 12 when that happened. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a wild time.
Yeah, man, oh man. And because it ran for how many seasons?
We did 4 seasons. People like to feel like we did more than that because right afterwards in syndication, it just erupted. But it was actually only 4.
Man, so 12 to 16, that is such a time of change, and to be in that.
Yeah. No, everyone saw my puberty moments all over the country. Like when dating, you usually wait to go to the parents' house to see that. People could just look mine up all 4 years of the most awkward moments of my life.
Then you went from there to do so many different kinds of projects. Like I said, Walking Dead, Dear White People.
Right. This is where we met.
You guys worked together on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that scene with Tyler, just one episode where I played a crazy talk show host.
It was fun. We had a really good time. And that was my first time, back to that show. I did the film. I didn't do the show. So it was my first time coming back then and seeing everybody and seeing what happens when you're not shooting it on a micro budget in Minnesota.
Yeah.
And Netflix is behind you and we're like, yeah.
But if you benefit from racism, you are a racist.
The platform is to talk about serious stuff, but my segment producers don't really want that.
Ah, I see what you're doing here. I see it. That's great. It's a great tactic to, pass the buck. And that's definitely worked for people throughout all of history.
Can you believe this is the guy Sam wants to bring to Winchester?
Carson Rhodes? I mean, he is woke as fuck.
I follow you on Twitter and you speak of the ills of the world. You could do the same thing on your show.
But isn't this campus polarized enough? I mean, BSU can do it at once, but somebody's got to keep the peace.
Come on, either we get in or we don't. It's no big deal, right?
Are you kidding? We could be the first women admitted to Pegasus.
As a white person, what can I do? Do I watch more BET? Because I am down. I love that show.
I've had the opportunity to work with some really great people. And I think that's what is dope about, finding success early is I wasn't chasing it, as long as other people were. So after I kind of did that, I was able to just kind of pick projects on what was fun and interesting. And Dear White People was, this was 2012, that just even the title alone scared people. But it was fun to be able to do that and take those risks and not really be concerned about the success of it all.
Are you at a point now where you don't have to go audition for every part?
Yeah, I mean, people know now what I'm, capable, I think, of. And that's the thing about kind of showing that diversity over time is showing there's a wide spectrum of what I can do. This show, for example, although I ended up, chemistry reading with Quinta, she reached out to me in, I want to say December of 2020, saying that she, had loved some work that I had done and had written this role for me in this pilot, and would love if I would like read it and try it out. And I'm like, couldn't be a bigger fan of hers. We had worked together on the Black Lady sketch show. I always appreciate her for that, and being able to see, you know, what I was capable of going into this show.
Now everybody keeps waiting for your two characters to get together.
Oh
yeah, that's kind
it's
of
that
a
push-pull thing, you know, with the show.
It's a whole thing. We're slow burning. You know, we know that we've seen this done, you know, a few times, but we're finding our own interesting way to do it. And we've, like, you know, introduced some nice, interesting turns here and there, even in the first season.
And it was just announced the show's like getting huge numbers, which, you know, sitcoms had really taken a big dip, and this was like such cool news to see how popular the show is.
I'll always be a fan of network TV because I feel like network TV can really help control the pulse of where the country is. You know, if you notice, if there's a lot of really dark stuff, we tend to go to really dark places. And I think that's what happened after these last 2 years. I didn't want to do anything dark. And Quinta, she said she didn't want to do anything dark. We wanted to like make people feel good at the end of an episode on a large scale.
There shouldn't be a single conversation about America being divisive without mentioning the lack of comedy on network television.
And people being able to laugh about the same things reminds them that they're more alike than they are different. And as we see these numbers grow, for me, outside of it, you know, just being a successful show, and I want that to happen, it helps reinvigorate my feeling of what people can come together and watch the same thing and all find commonality in that. So even if that's a bridge to somebody that, you know, in your office that you wouldn't normally speak to, or, you know, you have differences in political opinion. If y'all can set up and say, did you see Abbott Elementary last night? This piece was so funny. That's a bridge that connects. And we need as many bridges right now as we can get.
Absolutely.
Do you take any breaks, or do you go straight into other projects? Or?
For me, when I'm on network TV, I try to take breaks. I know what this is like a grind. You know, I've done it before. When when we did Everybody Hates Chris, I got the flu every year while shooting, just because it's like, you know, it's every day, sometimes 22 straight weeks. Keeping the energy there for that long is difficult. So with this, it looks like we can be here for a while. So, you know, knock on all the wood. So I'm trying to, you know, pace myself unless there's something I find like really interesting.
Right.
Well, that's good. You got to take care of yourself.
You have to, man. I'm trying, you know, not to fall into that loop of you need to be working constantly. Like, you maybe don't need to be working constantly. I need to, you know, refill my cup when I can.
Especially when you've been working since you were 12. And even
before
you're allowed to have a break.
I learned how to do that. I don't need to be in the grind consistently. No.
Tyler James Williams, Abbott Elementary.
And
it's a hit.
You gotta watch it. Tyler kills it as the sub.
As the sub who's making decisions.
That's right. I did have to say real quick, I did love the storyline that you applied to be the principal, and you clearly are the most qualified for it. And Janelle James's character got it because she like blackmailed somebody or something.
And I'll give you the slightest of that story's not over.
Okay.
That story's not done. So if you enjoyed that one,
good
it's
to
not
know.
We have a lot of nonsense bets on the game here on the show.
I like that about the Super Bowl. They have coin flip stuff.
Okay, so let's start with that. Coin toss, heads or tails?
I'm gonna say tails.
That's what I said. Twins.
So did everybody but me. How long will it take to sing the national anthem? Under or over 1 minute and 55 seconds?
Over. I'm taking the over.
Why?
They like to elongate those notes.
Yeah, they make a meal out of it in the Super Bowl. They're not just. I like when I went to Crypto.com Arena for a hockey game. The guitarist played it like the Jimi Hendrix style, and I'm like, this is perfect. I don't know the words. I don't need the words.
All right, here's another bet. Which team is leading at halftime?
I will guess the Rams.
Wow.
I think LA will be up by like 3.
What color Gatorade will be spilled on the winning coach?
You know, my heart says yellow, but I'm going to go ahead and say orange.
Nice. That's what I predicted.
I threw a wrench in things and said water.
That's possible, but not likely. I had a friend in high school who was an idiot. He played on the basketball team. And when the basketball team lost their last game of the season, not won, but lost, he dumped the Gatorade on the coach in the basketball court, which is way harder to clean up.
On the court?
Yep, just ruined. Ruined the entire court at high school.
I love this guy. Puppy Bowl winner. Team Fluff or Team Rough?
Team Rough wants it more. And I think Team Fluff is just kind of there to have a good time. They don't know what's coming.
To be on TV.
Team Rough's been waiting their whole lives for this.
What about the injuries? What about their injuries?
I hope there's a lot of them.
No,
Take the over. Take the over on injuries.
Well, it seems like Anthony and I kind of had a lot of the same results in these bets.
Oh, I had a lot of the same answers as Anthony.
They were yes or no questions, guys. It wasn't. It wasn't too bad.
50-50 shot.